Hey, what's good, social media land? Hope that everyone is doing well. We're praying for you and praying that your family is well, even in the midst of our pandemic and everything is going on. Our prayer is that you and your household is well. I want to just come on, take a moment and encourage us about waiting on our appointed time. You know, there's a time, there's a season, there's a place that when God opens the door for you, nobody will be able to stop it. But many times we get frustrated in the waiting process. And our society conditions us to be, everything fast and in a hurry. We got fast food. We went from 2G to 3G to 4G. Now we at 5G so we can get more information fast. And we are conditioned to get things fast, but it doesn't always work that way, my friend. Everything is not always microwave. Sometimes you got to put it in the oven. And I need for some of us to understand that your blessing is in the oven. There's an appointed time for when that timer goes off and it will be ready for you. Now we got to be careful not to try to pull it out the oven, try to turn the oven up higher so it can hurry up. It's an appointed time for that blessing to be open for you. Now listen, I want you to be careful because impatience will cause you to get out of position. Hear me clearly. Impatience will cause you to get out of position. God has shown you something. God has promised you something. And because it's taken too long to come, we say, you know what? I'm going from this place and I'm going to that place. And the truth of the matter is God says, I'm going to bless you at this place. But because it's taken so long, we want to move to another place. Or we get out of position in relationships because we're going through a rough patch in our relationship. We're going through a valley season. We want to get out of position, not knowing that God is going to work that thing out and bless us in the time to come. So be careful because we get all frustrated, we get frazzled, we get excited, it's taking too long, and the enemy will cause us to get out of position. He will cause us to settle for less than what God has. I'm talking to somebody because God has something great for you, but because it's taken too long, you will settle for less. God has a great person for you, but because it's taken too long and you want to be with somebody right now, you will settle for less. And I need you to be mindful of that, all right? And mindful of moving to the wrong place. Listen, waiting is not just about us waiting, but it's about how we wait. We have to wait with the right attitude. And you have to be careful with that. We can't wait and say we're trusting and believing God, and we have so much grumbling and moaning and complaining and being upset and our spirits all out of whack. You have to wait with expectation. It's like Christmas, brother and sister. It's like Christmas. The presents under the tree, you just can't open it till the 25th. You know it's there and there's something there for you, but there's an appointed time for it to be open to you. And I need you to understand what God has for you is there. It's in the oven. It's under the tree. It's there. And when the time comes, it will be yours. But you have to wait on that appointed time and have a good attitude. You got to be in expectation. All right, when this thing comes, it's going to be all right. When this thing comes, all the dreams, all the promises God is showing me, it's going to begin to manifest. So make sure you have the right attitude, okay? If you tell for those of you who are parents, you tell your children, well, wait right here. If they fold in their arms and frowning, that's not the right attitude. And have we maybe realized that that's what we're doing with God? When we're waiting, we got our arms folded and we have our face all frowned up, and God is preparing you and preparing something for you and preparing you for it. Sometimes if we get things before the time, we can mess it up real bad. I'd rather God allow me to have myself continue to work on me, get me together, so when the thing comes, then I won't mess it up. I won't lose it. And the truth of the matter is maybe God is working on some of you right now, working on your attitude, working on how you handle finances, working on your relationship. So when the thing comes, it won't tear up everything that you have. All right. Now, listen, the enemy's job is to frustrate you so that you get offended at God. Hear me here. The job of the enemy is to frustrate you so that you get offended at God, and then you blame God, and ultimately you disconnect from God. That's the strategy of the enemy. God's taking too long. God don't care about you. God love your sister or your brother more than you. God love these people more than you. And then you get offended. Now you looking at God sideways. You praying, but you're half praying. You ain't in it like you used to be. And then you start blaming God for everything that's wrong in your life instead of realizing and understanding that he is the one with the power and the authority to pull you up out of any situation. At any moment, anytime, something great can happen for you. But you have to be mindful that the enemy does not pull you out of position and cause you to disconnect from God. And if you're watching this, I want you to be mindful. Am I disconnected? Am I slowly disconnecting? Because it's been taking long for what I've been waiting for to come. I want you to know, brother and sister, that your time is coming. I want you to know it. I need you to get that in your spirit. I need you to believe it. Somebody's been down, but I'm speaking over your life. Your time is coming. And what God has for you, it is for you. Nobody can take it away from you. No one can take your place. It belongs to you. Here it is. The present has your name on it. Your brother or sister ain't supposed to be opening it. It has your name on the box. And I need you to understand what God has for you is for you. Check this out. How do I know when I'm in my season? How do I know that my appointed time is coming? Things begin to open to you easy. Things begin to come to you. We struggle and we've been struggling and straining and trying to get it. But when your season comes, you don't have to force nothing. Things will begin to open for you. Opportunities will begin to come to you. Phone calls, emails will begin to come to you. People will begin to come to you and speak on your life. And you know that your time is coming. Now, faith without action is dead. So whatever God is telling you to do while you wait, make sure that you do it. And as you begin to take that step and whatever he says, trust that he will open more doors for you. Listen, there's an appointed time. And I know you get frustrated. I get frustrated. I've been frustrated in waiting on the promises of God. But you have to be careful that the enemy doesn't get you out of position, cause you to get offended, disconnect from God, and you actually miss what's coming. Let me say this. I'm going to close here. I think about coordinates. And let's just say that, in the military, someone needs to get extracted. I'm going to pick you up at this coordinate. All right. And the drop is supposed to happen at this coordinate, or you waiting on supplies. The drop happens at this coordinate. But if the enemy pulls you out of position and you go over to some other coordinate because you're tired of waiting, you will miss the drop. Listen, I don't want you to miss your drop. I don't want you to miss your present. I don't want you to miss your blessing. Continue to do what God has called you to do. Continue to be who God has called you to be, and continue to wait until your appointed time comes. Listen, God bless you all. Take care.